Let's dive into the chapter Our Earth and its Atmosphere. Our Earth is wrapped up in a massive blanket of air which is called atmosphere. Now imagine it like a big invisible shield around our planet. So every living thing, including us, they depend on this atmosphere. Why? Because it gives us air we need to breathe and it also shields us from the harmful rays of the sun. Without this protective layer, the sun would have burned us during the day and we would freeze at night. So, this atmosphere keeps our planet at a temperature that is just right for our life. Now, let's talk about what is in this blanket of air. The air we breathe is not just one gas, it is a mixture of several gases. And the most abundant ones are nitrogen and oxygen. You may have heard of carbon dioxide, helium, ozone, argon, hydrogen, which are also present in air but in much smaller amounts. So, beside gases, the air also contains dust particles. So, the most abundant gas in the air is nitrogen, which is 78%. It is the most common gas, and even though we breathe it in, our bodies don't use it much. However, it's crucial for plants which get nitrogen from the soil with the help of bacteria which is known as rhizobium. The next abundant gas is oxygen, which is 21%. It is the second most common gas and it is essential for all animals and humans to breathe. And green plants, they give us oxygen through the process called photosynthesis. Next is argon, which constitutes 0.93%. Next, do you know the carbon dioxide that is released in the atmosphere? It creates a greenhouse effect. How? By trapping the heat radiated from the earth. So that is why carbon dioxide gas is known as greenhouse gas, and without it, the earth would have been too cold to live in. However, when its level in the atmosphere increases due to the factory smokes or car fumes, the heat that is retained is it gets increased and the temperature of the earth also increases. So this is why global warming happens. What is global warming? Global warming is the rise in the temperature that causes the snow in the coldest part of the world to melt, and because of this global warming, the sea level rises, which results in floods in the coastal areas. So, there may be drastic changes in the climate of a place, leading to the extinction of some plants and animals in a long run. So, global warming is a very big problem. So, how can we reduce the global warming? By planting more and more trees and by reducing the use of the vehicles and all that are releasing carbon dioxide in the air. Now, the atmosphere which we have learned is a thick layer or thick blanket around us. So, it is not just one thick layer, but this atmosphere is divided into five different layers, and each of it is having its own characteristics. The first layer is known as troposphere, and it is the closest layer to the earth. It is about 13 kilometers high and it contains the air we breathe. Weather phenomena like rain, fog, storms all happen here. The next layer, as you can see in this picture, is stratosphere. It is just above the troposphere and it extends up to 50 kilometers. It is mostly calm and clear, making it ideal for aeroplanes to fly. This layer also contains the ozone layer, which protects us from the sun's harmful rays. The third layer is mesosphere, and this layer extends up to 80 kilometers and it is known for burning up of meteors that enters from space, preventing them from reaching the earth. Next layer is thermosphere, and the temperature rises rapidly with height. It increases with the height or the altitude, and it contains the ionosphere, which reflects radio waves back to earth, aiding in the communication. So thermosphere helps in the radio transmission or radio communication. Next is exosphere. This is the last layer, and it is the outermost layer where the air is extremely thin, and light gases like helium and hydrogen, they float into the space from exosphere. So how many layers are there in the atmosphere? Total 5: troposphere, stratosphere, mesosphere, thermosphere, and exosphere. Now let's understand about weather and climate and what is the difference. Weather is the day-to-day condition of the atmosphere. So it refers to the short-term change in the atmosphere. Weather changes from hour to hour and from day to day. Like we are saying that today the weather is sunny or rainy or cloudy. Climate, on the other hand, is the average weather over a long period. So it describes the long-term pattern, like from years or decades. So that is why it is generally hot in summers and cold in winters. Next topic is temperature. Temperature measures the hotness or the coldness of the air. So the temperature we feel is the temperature of the atmosphere. It can change between day and night and from season to season. So the temperature varies from day and night with seasons and with altitude. So as we go up, the temperature starts decreasing, and the amount of solar energy received is known as insolation. It decreases as we move from equator to poles, making places near the poles colder. Now, what is air pressure? Air pressure is the force exerted by the air on the Earth's surface. So, air pressure is the weight of the air with which it is pressing down on the Earth. It decreases with altitude and influences the weather patterns. It is highest at sea level and decreases as we go up in the atmosphere. High temperatures create low pressure, leading to cloudy and wet weathers, while cold areas have high pressure associated with clear skies. So the air always moves from high pressure areas to low pressure areas. Now let's understand what is wind. Winds are created when the air moves from high pressure areas to low pressure areas. As in the previous topic, we have learned that air always moves from high pressure to low pressure. So, this movement of air from high pressure areas to low pressure area is known as winds. And there are three types of wind: permanent winds, seasonal winds, and local winds. What are the example? Permanent winds blow constantly throughout the year in a particular direction, like trade winds, westerlies, easterlies. Seasonal winds, as the name suggests, these winds change their direction in different seasons. Example, monsoons. Next is local winds. Local winds, they blow only during a particular period of the day or year in a small area, like land breeze and sea breeze, even loo. All these are examples of the local winds. Now let's understand what are cyclones. Cyclones are intense low pressure systems that bring strong winds and heavy rainfall. They can be very devastating, like Orissa cyclone in 1999. Now let's understand what are moisture and precipitation. Moisture in the air, which is also known as humidity, it comes from the water evaporating from land and water bodies. When the air is humid, it holds a lot of water vapor, which can condense to form clouds. And when these clouds get heavy, the water falls back to earth in the form of precipitation, which can be in the form of rain, snow, sleet, or hail. So, rainfall is essential for life on earth. And basically, there are three types of rainfall: cyclonic rainfall, relief or orographic rainfall, and the third is conventional Rainfall. Do you know what causes the air circulation? When air is heated, it expands since it becomes lighter. It goes up. And cold air, which is denser and heavy, that sinks down. So when hot air rises, cold air from the surrounding areas, it rushes to fill in the gaps. So this is how air circulations happen. Do you know the name of the wind that is named after the direction? That is westerly. The wind blows from west and is known as westerly. What is the standard unit for measuring temperature? It is degree Celsius. It was invented by Anders Celsius. And what is the freezing point of water? It is 0 degree Celsius. And what is the boiling point of water? It is 100 degree Celsius. You will be surprised to know that Earth receives only 1 in 2 billion parts of sun's energy. And on the moon there is no air, and hence no air pressure is there. So that is why the astronauts, they have to wear a special protective suits that is filled with air when they go to moon. What will happen if they will not wear this suit? The counter pressure which is exerted by the body of the astronauts would make the blood vessels burst, and the astronaut would bleed and die. So in this chapter, what all we have learned is that atmosphere is crucial as it plays a vital role in maintaining life on Earth, from protecting us from the sun's harmful rays to regulating temperature and weather. The atmosphere is indeed our planet's life sustaining blanket, and this atmosphere is just right for us to survive. So that is why Earth is the only place on which survival is possible, and on no other planet all these conditions are there so that we can survive. This was all about the topic air. Now let's see what are the different weather instruments. The instrument that measures the temperature is known as thermometer. Thermometer. The instrument that measures the atmospheric pressure is called barometer. Just remember the spelling is Barometre. The instrument that measures the amount of rainfall is known as rain gauge, RAIN rain, then GAUGE. And the instrument that shows the direction of the wind is called wind vane, WINDVANE. So these are the different weather instruments: to measure temperature, thermometer; to measure atmospheric pressure, barometer; to measure amount of rainfall, rain gauge; and to show the direction of the wind, wind vane is used.